Hello, everyone. Jeremy Hooper here. Thank you for joining me for my logo and justification identity analysis for Entrepreneurship 645. If you have seen any of my previous classwork, then you may know that I'm basing my work on a conceptual company named Fire and Light. That is a company that would be based here in Moore County, North Carolina. We would focus on high-end custom builders and designers. We have a showroom that displays higher quality, higher value lighting products, outdoor grills, patio furniture, outdoor kitchens, very design in nature, where we're able to take their homeowners and help them to create the vision and make it a reality for them. And on the screen now is kind of the logo that I've used for this classwork. Fire and light with an ampersand in the middle that's got a background of some fire. Noticing that ampersand symbol, that's something when I began to play around with the font design for this class, I came across, and I came across that on publicdomainpictures.net. It is a free logo. It is a site where the owner and developer of that logo has given up their rights and even for commercial use. So I've taken that and I played around with the font, played around with the sizing of these letters to that icon. And I found this font to be maybe the most relative to it. And really, the company here, Fire and Light, I want it to be um, just two words. I want it to drive some interest without a lot of words, without a lot of pictures. I want it to be very standard in a sense, and I wanted to drive off of that. Now there is a backstory to this identity. So first on the left here is one of the first logos that when I was playing around with the font and I found that icon. And this is probably a font that I liked the most. I felt that it flowed well. I felt that it kind of gave the masculinity, kind of gave the identity of maybe the company. However, we do have a company called the Hoop Group Carolinas, and that's a company that really is my wife's. She utilizes it when she does a lot of marketing and she does a lot of work with the political arena, state level, local level. And this is not her logo, but I wanted to make a relation between it and the Hoop Group. And so the Hoop Group, we have the circle around the Hoop Group, which she has in her real logo. And idea being the hoop, of course, idea being consistent in nature, idea being follow through in the whole arena of the circle. So I wanted to play off that. So I initially had put a similar size circle around Fire and Light. However, I did not want, or it didn't look correct when the thickness of the circle was thicker than my lettering. It was almost that the circle kind of drowned out the lettering. Kind of the circle became the focus point. And I think just the standard words fire and standard word light is really what I want this thing to be. So that just didn't play right. So from there, um, I changed it, and that was where we changed the font back to the thicker lettering. Um, Also, at that point in time, I kind of realized that the larger circle was maybe not give off the right envision, but I wanted to keep the hoop around Fire and Light. I wanted it to be consistent, and this font gave me an opportunity for that circle to be thicker, to be something that when we create or when we look to create our identity from a marketing standpoint, when we create our marketing kit, it's something that I think will flow into all of the arenas. I think if we were ever to do print, I think it's easy to inject into that world. I think when we look to build a website, I think from there, there's a lot that I can do with this thickness. I think that'll come off very clear, straightforward, clean lined. When we look to print off brochures and business cards and that type of nature, I feel that this will flow through all those arenas. And again, the idea is I don't want this logo to overtake our marketing message. I want our marketing message to be simultaneous, but I want each product, whether it be print, online, a card, a t-shirt, I want it to have its own intention. And I don't want the logo to take that attention away from whatever that marketing effort is. So, and then as well, it kind of goes along with our business being being simple, but yet being stately, and being tasteful. So I kind of came down to this logo a little bit. Again, keeping the icon in the center provides a little bit of color pop, and really anything we do from a marketing standpoint, I think is going to include that shade of color of orange. But it's always going to be in the background. I don't think that orange will ever come in front of the black, and because if it ever does, then again, I think I'm going to lose a little bit of what my marketing message is, and just don't want to do that. So it's always going to fit behind the black in whatever we do. So whatever happened to the Hoop Group logo? Well, so recreating it also because again, if we do a couple businesses, and I think there's some more conceptual ideas in our head, anything that we do, we want it to have some correlation. So whichever outline, whichever circle that we do between the two companies, I think is always going to have the same thickness. I think it's always going to have the same shape. And so maybe that would be an impression in our client's head and maybe a correlation between the different companies and then help us with a little bit of that um, marketing and a little bit of if this company is in relationship with this company, then it can feed off some of that quality from the start. And theoretically or ideally, we want this. We want these letters and we want this font to be the same, but it's not imperative. I think the idea here is although we'll have the circle tying them together, I think the font will differentiate the companies. Maybe that font will keep depending on whatever company's intentions are. I think again, the idea is that this will help with our marketing kit. I think it'll help with our overall marketing message. I think that it transforms well from print to media to online to whatever we do. And I think that it'll give the right impression to our customers. Thank you for joining me.